In this video, I will walk you through a simple but an essential Unreal workflow that we are using at TENJISOFT Studios. Here we are going to use two techniques. One will be the texture grid technique and another one is the custom primitive data. So let's see what this does. So right here we have a name board with a lot of variation in the textures, and it has a similar static mesh, but textures and the materials are different. An easier approach for this would be people will be creating a lot of textures and they'll be creating a material instance and then assign it to each and every static mesh in the level. So what happens here is if we are having 16 textures or 16 wordings, then we need 16 different textures, and also we'll be creating 16 different material instances. So what happens here is the draw calls. The draw call count will be so heavy when you're placing hundreds of such mesh in the environment. So let's see what's the alternative. Now we are going to the texture that we are using, and it is a single base color texture that has all the different variations of the textures within one map. So right here you can see I have arranged all the wordings and the variations in one single 4K map, and now we can jump into the material and see what's happening over there. So right here you can see a simple math going over here. So what this does is it's going to select a chunk from the texture, like we are going to divide the texture into rows and columns, and what happens here is it will take the UV from that column and that row. So that's the math going on here. And also you can see we have used a custom primitive data and a split size. The split size will be the number of splits that we have in the texture. For example, for our texture we have like 4 rows and 4 columns. That's the split size. So for here we are having 4, so 4 will be the split size. So how do we control this in Blueprint? Let's jump into our Blueprint, and we have 3 different variables, that is array of transforms and an array of integers and a static mesh variable. All these are exposed in the editor, and let's jump to the level. So right in the level we are going to place the blueprint that we created. Let's jump into the details panel, and right here you can see the variables that we exposed. Now let's assign a mesh to the static mesh, and which is the direction board. There's one more step. We have the reference point, and we should add elements into the array. As you add elements to the array, you can see the transform widget showing up in the level. So now you have the texture ID. So right here we have added 2 elements in the texture ID, and you can see the static mesh spawning on the position that we added in the reference point. This texture ID is going to take the CPD, and right here we are giving it as a value of 1. This CPD value picks up a chunk from the texture, and that's it. And you can add as many number of elements that you need and change different CPD values, and you can have a different variations of the textures without increasing the draw call and the number of textures that we need. Simple, right? So at TENJISOFT we are creating so many unique approaches and workflows for making the dev life easier. If you're creating something in Unreal Engine, just check out our Fab page, and we got a lot of cool stuff over there. So the recent environment pack that we have released comes along with this cool approach, and you can check it out in Fab Marketplace, the link in the description. And also don't forget to comment and give a review, because your support is going to drive us to create more for the community. Stay tuned for more updates from TENJISOFT Studios.